And when we focus on Atletico guys, they did get the job done, but ultimately there were some big weaknesses in this team.
Atletico. Yeah, 12 games now in the Champions League, no clean sheets. Very strange for Atletico Madrid because domestically they're still defensively sound, but it's a strange team because they get into shootout games where they're scoring goals but they're conceding a lot of goals as well. So it's a team that I wouldn't want to play against because they work so hard, but a team that's definitely conceding more goals than normal in the Champions League.
Yeah, but it's a team in transition, isn't it? Because normally you'd say defensively they're sound, they're going to try and beat you 1-0. But now with Lookman, with Alvarez, with the attacking players that they have.
Sorloth.
Yeah, Sorloth, again, Sorloth gives you a great balance to be able to hit a big target man and have runners off him. But when they're at their best, I don't think Sorloth's in there. I think it's the rotations that they have up front with the likes of Griezmann that can come in there. But I just think they're going into this situation. I say, we're in transition. Let's just go and score. Let's just outscore you now. Again, Diego Simeone at his core wants to be more resolute. We know what he was like as a player. We've seen it over the last, 12, 13 years.
Yeah, it seems crazy to be talking like that as an attacking side, given what Simeone has shown us over so many years. They were just, it was 10 men behind the ball.
But Adam, they don't have those same players defensively that they used to have. So now it's like we're in this development stage.
The personnel has changed.
Yeah, so it's like, OK, we've got Lookman, who's pacey, direct on the left-hand side, just give him the ball as much as we can. And what you're seeing since Lookman's come in is the Julian Alvarez that we knew before that gets more space now, and the goal he scored today was fantastic. I said Atletico, for me, are a very good team. Unfortunately, the way the bracket fell, I just think they'll go out to Barcelona next.
They're just a team you just don't want to play because the reality of it is you never know what you're going to get. I describe them as the Forrest Gump line, life like a box of chocolate because you never know what you're going to get. That is Atletico Madrid. That is the reality of that team from the start of the season.
What's that in Spanish? I don't know.
I mean, it is. They're a box of chocolate. You just don't know what one's going to turn up because they can turn up and look absolutely brilliant and really blow teams away, organise, fight, and be technically good. Alvarez on fire, Griezmann creating chances, really good. And then they can turn up and you're like, is this the Atletico Madrid we've been talking about? Like, for me, really hard to work out, but they get the job done. At the moment, they got the job done. Next tie is going to be difficult for them, but they're very aware of Barcelona. And then you talk about the domestic relationship of knowing that team. I won't be surprised if you get a very tight game because they'll be well organised.
They have just beat Barcelona, haven't they, over 2 legs as well in the competition.
I think
Copa del Rey, is it?
Yeah,
they've just beaten them in that over 2 legs. So, again, they'll have confidence going into that, and Barcelona will have a point to prove. It'll be a great game.
But to use Nigel's analogy of, the box of chocolates, what kind of chocolate's coming out when they play against Barcelona? It's all very well doing it in a cup, but in the Champions League, the biggest stage, we did see a lot of defensive errors. I mean, they gave Spurs these chances.
I mean, again, it's whether they've gone to Tottenham thinking that the tie is done and it's dusted, and they've gone there with a bit of an arrogance and, just trying to see out the game because they didn't get any fight from Tottenham in the first leg. But for me, again, they got it. And again, let's be real, even at 2-2, Julian Alvarez had a great chance where they could have put that game to bed there and they could have won 3-2, and he went to a very selfish route and didn't pass to Sorloth, who was in the box unmarked. And that just gave life to Tottenham. But when you look at those there today, shots against, on target against as well, it's.
I mean, if you're giving Spurs 18 shots against, how many are you giving away Barcelona?
You can't give a pass to Atletico Madrid defensively and then not give it to Barcelona.
Yeah, no, 100%.
It's the same thing. They have defensive problems for sure. I mean, and it's not just stepping off the pedal against Tottenham. 12 games in the Champions League, you don't have 1 clean sheet. They've conceded a crazy amount of goals.
But you say that, Grella. But historically, Atletico Madrid have always been the better side defensively than Barcelona. Barcelona have not been that team that we could say, oh, defensively, that's what the foundation of the club is. Barcelona's always been front foot, scoring goals, scoring goals. Atletico Madrid have always been defensively organised. When you talk about Simeone's reign, we always used to just say, hard to beat, hard to beat. They're not.
But that's not the same team. That's
it's not the same team.
Talking about. So then when you look at the offensive play, and Atletico's is fantastic too, Barcelona's are better.
Yeah.
So if they're both struggling defensively to stop conceding goals and they both have their flaws defensively, then you have to look to the attack. Okay, which one has a better attack? Then you have to say Barcelona. So I think Barcelona will be the favorite going into that as well. And unless Atletico can be defensively sound on the other end, better than what Barcelona has, they're going to struggle in the matchup with Barcelona.
But that's a game that suits Diego Simeone, the manager, as well. You talk about the games and the mindsets, and you've managed yourself, so you know what it's like. He loves that. He would love that, to go in there to say, we're the underdogs, everyone's written us off. He'll be able to fire up his players for that. It'll be very interesting, Ty.
Troy, do you think he's taken this club as far as it can go? I mean, he's been there for a long, long time. He's bucked the trend. We don't often see this from, I mean, apart from Arteta, any manager that lasts this long at one club. Do you think, you know, he should maybe move on to a different challenge?
No, I think he's reinventing himself. I think he's started to look at how he can be better in different ways. And football's changing as well as coaching's changing along the way. So he's having to adapt. But make no mistake about it, he is that football club. You take him out, who takes over now? It's a whole new project rebuild. They're not all of a sudden like 9th in La Liga. They're not qualifying for Champions League. They're still right up there, and they're in a rebuild phase. So for me, I think he's still great. The ethos of what that football club is Diego Simeone. So if you pull the heart out of it, Grell, what are they going to do now? They're going to go a complete football route? OK, so you get a new coach in that wants to play complete football. You have to rip up the whole team, the whole back line, the new goalkeepers. That's a 5-6 year build. Why not have somebody who's still got the passion for it? And he's lived his whole life as the underdog. So now if these questions are being asked, you're going to get the best out of him.
If you look at what's out there, too, and say, listen, be honest with yourself and say, what are the world's best managers? Put them in a line, 5 of them, 7 of them, 10 of them, whatever. He would still be in that category. So why would you change it if you have one of the world's best managers? For me, sometimes in football, too quick and too soon, people want to change. People want to change players. They want to change the way they play. They want to change to a different format. Like sometimes you don't have to fix it if it's not broken. I think he's still one of the world's best managers. He's one of the highest paid managers.
I was about to say,
I think the highest.
He's not giving up that salary.
No, he's not giving
as much as Nigel.
But he has a lot of quality for sure and a lot of experience. So even if you have to replace him, it's not cheap.
I think for me, when you look at this, Adam, this is, from his point of view, it's just job done. That's how it is. He knows that the performance wasn't up to scratch. He's not going to lie to his players. He'll be very honest with that, but it's the job done. That's it. You're into the next round, and that's what it is. Sometimes it's not about style of play. It's not pretty. He knows they can do better.
Also, as well, I know Spurs have been terrible this season. Terrible. They've still got some good players. And the goals that they conceded today were good attacking goals, if we look at it from that point of view. Individual quality from Simons with the first one. The balling from Tell's fantastic as a striker. Like, they've got talent. So every now and again, you will bump into a team that it clicks from. That's the best performance Spurs have put in all season long. And they won 3-2. So, OK, no problem, but we're still through.
They've got the Madrid derby at the weekend, obviously a massive game in La Liga. Then attention's turned to that game against Barcelona. If you were the managers and you had, a week or so to prepare for that game, what would you be focusing on if you are going to cause an upset against Barca?
Yeah, I think, like I said, the key is defensively who's going to be more sound in that one. And I think against Barcelona, that it's more clear how you can beat them. I think you have to be defensively sound. You have to be a little bit deeper at times. You're maybe not going to have the football all the time. And then be able to hit in 1 or 2 passes and be able to hurt them. You need willing runners, for sure. Newcastle in the second half of that game didn't run anymore. Yeah. They stayed in the changing room. They didn't run on either side of the ball, and they didn't have any runners behind. The runners behind was killing Barcelona in the first half and through even the first leg as well. So the Atletico have to have willing runners and have to be defensively sound, not give away easy goals. Newcastle gave away a lot of easy goals. 4 of them set pieces, 2 penalties, 1 from a deep cross and 1 from a corner. You can't afford to give those goals up against Barcelona because they're going to get probably 4 from open play. They're probably going to get another couple from set piece. So there you have to be careful for sure. It's got to be a really calculated effort from Atletico Madrid. If they go toe-to-toe with Barcelona, I think Barcelona win.
Well, we talk about discipline. First leg is the Camp Nou. Stay disciplined in that one. Stay in the game. Second leg is the Metropolitano. So that's where the advantage will go for Atletico Madrid there. That second leg there, we know what those fans are like. And again, it's playing one of your rivals in your domestic league. You stay involved there, second leg at home, it's going to be a different energy in the place. We know what Diego Simeone's like, how animated he gets on the sideline and getting his team going. So I think that's going to be key to it. You've got to look at this now as the real 2 legs, the importance of the home and away leg when it comes to a game like this.
We've had a viewer comment come in from YouTube. Keep those coming in, of course, and we'll answer the best of them throughout the show. Grella is so salty. This is Atul0687. He rooted Newcastle United to win the tie for the past 2 years. He's been crying about Barca's high line. Barca won domestic treble and minutes away from the Champions League final with the same. What's your rebuttal to that?
Oh, well, for sure, but there's also a reason why I sit in this chair and then he sits at home with the Twitter. unfortunately, this is a reality, and I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why these are common misconception. YouTube, whatever.
With the YouTube.
I'll tell you a common misconception. What happens, especially in this business, every single fan thinks that you hate their team because you're put in a position where you have to analyze the team.
Of course.
Obviously, we don't get paid here to read the scoreline. Yeah, 8-2, 8-3, whatever the scoreline was.
He does.
But
Guilty.
Catching strays. But I will say this: the way we analyzed the game, I think it was spot on for 140 minutes.
Yeah.
But against a team with quality like Barcelona, you have to play the full 180 minutes over two legs. And in the last quarter of the matchup, in the second half of this game away at Barcelona, Newcastle didn't have the energy levels. They didn't have the organization. They didn't have the quality, quite frankly. You look at that back line against Barcelona's front three, there's always going to be a difficult ask. So and listen, trust me, I'm not salty. The check is always the same at the end of the day.
I was going to say, I love salty Grella.
It doesn't matter who wins to me. You just try to call it as close as you can to what you see.
We have to thank the viewers as well. They're the ones
Just take
that
that L, Grella.
Of course.
Grella takes the L.